Rift or anything?
No, this is like, to be honest, him being angry, him feeling like he needs to prove a point, and him being extremely focused is really good.
This is Jonathan Agger, Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Ben Shalom here in London. Ben, we are 2 days now away from Fabio Wardley against Frazer Clarke, this eagerly anticipated British heavyweight title fight. Ben, you've said it's the biggest fight, British heavyweight title fight since AJ against White. Why do you think that?
Just the size of it, the scale of it, the amount of people interested in it, the tickets sold, the numbers that we're expecting, the way it's trending and tracking. People are bought into this narrative. The Olympian, the white collar fighter, the history of obviously the purse bid situation and all that going back and forth is contributing to an absolutely enormous fight and a platform for both of them to really make a name for themselves in the casual scene. It's a monster.
See, this comes straight after the City Arsenal game, is that correct?
Yeah, straight in at 7 o'clock. Not been done before on a Sunday, Easter Sunday. It's just a big treat, and to be honest, even as a fan, I have to say, and I wouldn't say this, as a fan, I'm just excited to be here. Honestly, I get to see Babic against Robinson to open the show, which is just chaos. Like, I don't even know what's going to happen from the first bell, but it's just going to, I can't even picture it. The 6'7" heavyweight against the 6 foot heavyweight. Then we're into Callum Simpson, who I'm delighted to be back before his headline. He'll want to put on a statement. Vidal has pushed me for a fight that I wouldn't have chosen, if I'm honest. Like, I have to, he wants the big test early, and he's taking on a ferocious puncher and a wounded guy who's desperate to win, and that's always dangerous. Ben Whittaker, the superstar, looking to make statements again and create headlines again. Marku Congo, another fantastic fight, and then the main event it is pretty unbelievable. And so as a fan, I'm just delighted to be here. I'm delighted that most of the fighters we've been with since debut, and we're finally allowing to see them on the big stage.
Ben, Frazer Clarke did an interview yesterday with, I believe, Box Nation, and he was asked about your comments on the fight, saying that, I think you said if he's got enough grit and determination, he called it ludicrous. Are we to read anything into that? Is everything cool between you two?
Listen, I said to him, thank God, I want him wound up. For me, Frazer Clarke will win on Sunday, but I do want him wound up because I don't think, and this is because of his amateur background and who he's been in the ring with and the top fighters and the top names, to get up for the fights that we've had and that he's learned in the pro game has been difficult. So, yeah, it's good to see. I think, I spoke to him, I had a laugh about it.
There's no rift or anything?
No, this is like, to be honest, him being angry, him feeling like he needs to prove a point, and him being extremely focused is really good. All the signs are good, and I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Ben Whittaker, obviously, did you know who that guy was that just interrupted the presser like that?
To be honest, I had no idea. I said to him, "Who is that?" I thought he planned it. He thought I planned it. I saw a Bell End Whittaker T-shirt on him, but that's the sort of attention he's now creating. Everyone knows. You get associated now with Ben Whittaker. We used to see it with all the big names back in the day. I remember every man and his dog used to call out Mayweather. Everyone just wants to be associated, and who can blame them? If your name gets in the mix, good man. If your name gets in the mix with Ben Whittaker, it can elevate your career, and it's happening a lot. It's great to see. Leon Wellings deserves a lot of credit. He's called for this fight, coming off the back of a central area. I'm speaking to Callum Simpson, who's been sparring with him. He's a proper fighter, and he's coming to win. So it'll be interesting to see.
When Eddie Hearn came out and said, "Look, Ben Whittaker, one day he's going to be a Matchroom signing," what do you think, and how long's he got left on the Boxer deal?
He's in a long-term deal, but you have to laugh, but you also have to, if other promoters are looking at your fighters, and you're doing a right thing, and our job is to keep providing in the biggest platform possible. Look, I'm sure he'd probably swap 95% of his stable for Ben Whittaker. I get that. He's a superstar and he's a gem, and we're delighted to be with him. We've had a vision from the start. people are seeing it now. He's only 5% of what he can achieve. And yeah, no, in all seriousness, it's good, the attention that he's creating. I think he can be a star in British boxing, but also a star in world boxing, and we're seeing that in the numbers that he's doing.
And talking about Sky, obviously I think when you signed with them it was around a four-year deal. That's obviously going to come up for renewal. Do you expect to renew with Sky, and how is the relationship?
It's good, and look, as soon as we started, I mean, first of all, there was a lot of talk around, I think people forget, there was a lot of talk about Sky coming out of boxing when the DAZN deal happened, and that was the future of boxing, the platform of boxing. Done an incredible job, but people thought that was it. You know, we have a smaller budget, we're a small promotional company, and the fact that we're even in the game and we're even putting on shows like this, and it's been, you know, we've had to develop our own fighters. It's been an incredible journey, and I think Sky Sports has been committed to this sport for a long time. If there was ever a time, it was 2.5 years ago when we had to convince them to stay in the sport against a backdrop of huge investment. Never seen I think the biggest ever deal in British boxing, and we've managed to keep it going, and yeah, it's in a great place, and all we can do is keep putting on the best possible cards. And for me, the biggest nights in British boxing, we've had Jonas Mayer in January, we've had Buatsi Aziz in February, we get a huge night in March, and Lauren Price to fight for a world title, Richard Riatpur, Lawrence Okoli to come, and look, they're a juggernaut in British boxing, and it wouldn't be the same.
Just finally, Ben, we've seen, you know, Eddie and Frank doing shows out in Saudi Arabia with His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh. People are saying, well, why is Ben Shalom rather not doing shows out in Saudi Arabia? Have you had any conversations with HE, and you know, is that the plan maybe this year to stage shows out there?
Look, I think the reality is Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are the headline shows and have been the main attraction, and so, you know, being honest, we don't have our Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. We're building the future stars. You know, we're building stars here to build for the future. You know, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua won't be around forever, and so our focus is here. We think it's very important the biggest shows happen here. It's amazing what they're doing out in Saudi. I have to say, like, I think to bring Frank and Eddie together as a boxing fan, and sometimes I have to take myself out of it, it's fucking brilliant. And the fact that we're seeing fights that we otherwise wouldn't want to see and wouldn't otherwise see in the international fights that we're seeing, the unifications, but there's a place for British boxing as well, and the big nights here, and that's what we're focused on. And of course, down the line, you know, we expect to be working with everyone, and we expect to be working over there, but right now we have a job to put on the biggest fights and to build the future generation, which is really important for the health of the sport, and one day we're going to need new superstars and new names coming through.
Ben, appreciate your time. Fight of the night, in your opinion? You call it?
I think the main event's going to be a cracker. Yeah.
All right, Ben, appreciate your time.